Jenson Brooksby is ready. He's fresh off his first career title. Nice. It was an unreal run. He came through qualies. There he is. Jenson, it's good to see you again. We know you've been working here before with us. Jeff, Nolsey, and Nick. Are you still flying high and feeling good from Houston? That was incredible to watch, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I am. That was a really emotional week. Yeah, just very happy to get my first title. I had lost a few finals, but especially just after having so much time out. And, you know, getting to have even 7 matches to get my first title, pretty fitting. So still very happy. Yeah.
Jenson, you know, it's amazing to see, you know, you're a champion on the ATP Tour during World Autism Month. And so that's just nothing short of extraordinary. So tell us about how that feels for you and what it's meaning to other people, because I actually had a couple people reach out to me and said, hey, our son actually has autism, and it's so cool to see what Jenson Brooksby was able to do and just show that everything can be done.
Yeah, it means the world to me to hopefully be able to inspire, you know, future generations, whether they're trying to, someone on the autism spectrum is playing tennis or elsewhere in life. I didn't really have that example specifically in tennis to look up to. And I even got multiple examples after the tournament from ball kids or a tournament person about sharing a situation with that. So it's very special for me.
Yeah, and it should feel special because one of my best friends lives there in Houston, and he texted me last night and said, my son has autism, and he was watching every single one of your matches and just getting so much love and joy from seeing what you were doing. So it's extremely special.
Yeah, Jenson, Nolsey here. Obviously, you've battled so much adversity, not only off the court, but also on the court with injuries and so forth. You've been as high as 33 in the world. I got to see you play in Dallas earlier this year. As you were starting your comeback, you played a heck of a match against Tommy Paul, one of those tough matches to lose. But I remember watching you that week thinking, you know what, Jenson is getting closer, getting closer. I just wonder, where's your game right now? Forget the ranking, of course, coming off a huge title, your first ever title. But to me, you're playing at a very high level. I wonder where you see yourself right now.
Yeah, thank you. I think my level's even better than it's been before as of late, because I think I've added a little more variety and offense into my game, getting to the net, things I wasn't as comfortable with before that I'm starting to feel more comfortable with now that I've had a lot of matches under my belt again. So I'm very confident for the rest of the year right now.
We're watching just the end of the final match. I want to remind everyone at home, Jenson Brooksby was in qualies. He saved match points on 3 different occasions. I didn't get to see the quali match. The Tabilo save match points were unbelievable, down 6-3 in the breaker, the one over Tommy Paul. Is this one of those things where you remember all the points? I would love to specifically know what happened in the qualies point, where you saved the match point. That one I didn't get to see. I think that was an outer court.
Yeah, I seem like I remember almost all of this stuff. Yeah, so first round of qualifying was 3-6, 3-5, 30-40, second serve. I remember being very tight on that serve, just trying not to double fault. And then I think he missed a return on the net tape.
Wow.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, some very small margins.
3-6, 3-5, 30-40.
That's like the Tommy
That's right.
save the match point. It was a second serve and you jammed
had
Tommy.
to break him, right? So then you had to break him at 4-5.
Yeah, I break him at 4-5 and even 1-4 double mini break in the breaker. So,
oh my God.
So, Jenson, if someone would have told you when you had to break there that, hey, in about 7 days you're going to be lifting the trophy, what would you have told them?
Totally.
I mean, I wouldn't have believed him at the time, that's for sure. But I think it was a testament to just being able to not get too caught up in any one moment or day and just stick with it day after day.
Jenson, and that's my question for you. You know, watching you play, how do you not wobble in situations like this? I mean, you know, because some players get down 6-3, 5-3, and they're like, well, I guess today's not my day, and they just let it happen, right? And you just kind of let that roller coaster go. You were like, no, I'm going to fight back. So what's kind of your mindset when things maybe aren't going your way to bring it back?
I mean, I always just try to take it to how I'm focused on trying to win the next point. And I know that sounds easy to say, and it is easy for my mind to wander and kind of expect to lose in that situation. But I really do just stick with it and try to play my best tennis on important points or when I'm down and out. And I think I've always kind of done that to a degree, even I've had some close losses, but I think it really showed this week.
So is that something where you're focusing on the next point and what you're going to do, as opposed to the locker room or the flight out, or different things that happen for tennis players? We start thinking about all those different things. Are you just more focused on that next game plan for each point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I accept that those negative thoughts may come to my mind first, but then I do a good job of pushing them out.
Okay.
And then in like the 25-second period, I push them out quickly and then take it to the next point from there. And then it can lead to moments like that.
Arthur Feast had 3 set points in the last game. Now Griekspoor will have 3 set points in the break, or 2 on his serve if he needs it. Something I really enjoy about your game, Jenson, is how well you hit on the run. It's ridiculous, on the stretch, in the corners, especially on the forehand side. Well, actually, no, the backhand's money. Is that a facet of your game you work on, shots on the run, or is it just an innate ability with the improv? Do you feel that innate ability you have when you're deep in the corners?
I think it's some of both. I think it's something I've always had to a degree, the ability to hit good shots on the run, but I think it's actually been one of the points of emphasis and a point setting in practice to work on as well, on what shot to hit on the run, with a little more purpose. So I'm a little more consistent with that than I used to be.
Jenson, I love to give love to the coaches as well. So I want you to kind of walk through. I was able to see you in Orlando. You showed up in Orlando, I believe it was in October. October, November, December with Eric Nunez there. And then you brought Ryan Williams into the camp in December. Kind of walk us through that October frame, because when I saw you there, you were hitting the ball pretty slow, just kind of getting the feel of getting back into tennis. And now here we are winning an ATP title. So walk us through those 3 months with your coaches, Eric Nunez and Ryan Williams, and what it took to get to where you are now.
I mean, it took a lot of hard work. Like you said, even last September, October, I wasn't hitting at even full speed and sets yet consistently, and with serving. And there was still a lot of doubts in my mind about how I'd be able to start the year and even try to start well. But yeah, Eric really helped me early on once I got to Orlando from Saddlebrook before. And then I knew I needed someone else to be with me more weeks. So then I reached out to a couple people, and I immediately connected with Ryan well, even off the court. That was a really important thing for me, even besides the coaching. The off-court connection and just has to be good, so you're able to communicate well on the court, and you're going to be on the road with your team a lot. So those are things that really matter to me. And then I also feel like they've both really helped me in my serve and areas on the court compared to before.
Before Nosey goes, I just want to give love to Paul Kenny as well, your physio. You've been with him for a little while now. What does he bring to your body and mind?
Yeah, I mean, Paul means the world. He's another example that he's stuck with me even 2 years off of the tour, and I was able to get back with him from 2022, and then once I started up again, even after that extended break, and he's put in a lot of weeks with me away from his family, so it means a lot to be back with him, and I can see he was so happy about this one as well.
Jenson, I'm curious, you talked about in the tough moments how you're able to just stay kind of in the present, not think, kind of one point at a time. And for us in the tennis world, that's kind of Nadal mentality, right? So I was just wondering for you, were there any, whether it was tennis players or any other athletes, that you kind of tried to pattern your mindset after as you came onto the tour?
I mean, Nadal was my favorite player growing up, so I would have to say him. I mean, obviously anyone at that high level has a strong mentality week after week, but he was always someone watching when I was a kid. I'm like, man, this guy every week, every point seems to never give up and give his best effort, and can look at the end of the day and say, I did everything I could. And that's someone I've always wanted to be, even from my junior days and heading into the pros. And I'm glad I showed in a big fashion this week.
That's awesome.
Game point for Zverev. I think people at home like to nerd out on scheduling strategy. And for people at home to understand, you had multiple wrist surgeries, so you have a protected ranking. You did not use your protected ranking in Houston. That's why you got the wild card into qualies. Are you part of this strategy with the squad? Maybe you can tell people at home, how many protected rankings do you get for an entry into a tournament? How many have you used? And do you have a set plan moving forward of what you're going to use the protected ranking for?
Yeah, so my plan, even in January on, was pretty set, at least for the first half of the year. We always have like a plan A, plan B, plan C. Obviously, your ranking can move quickly, or things can happen where then you make adjustments. But I have 12 protected rankings because I was out for 1 year plus. So that's the rule. You get 12 events rather than 9. And I was trying to save most of them ideally for later in the year, like the grass season and especially the hard summer season and on, compared to the clay season coming up. But yeah, so that was our mindset kind of heading into the year. The slams use a PR. Yeah.
Well, Jenson, I got to ask you as well about kind of game planning for your matches, because I know you work with Gata Analytics, and I think you've been working with them for quite a while. Some players like to look at analytics and look at all the stats and see what's going on. Or are you a player that says, okay, coach, maybe give me a couple things, but I want to play my own game? Kind of how do you go into your matches?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I'm somewhere in the middle with that, actually. I used to be on the more extreme of not taking much of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I also don't want to sit there and just read every little thing because it can get confusing. So I'll have my coaches look at it first, and then I've talked with them about how many things I want filtered out, and I have more notes out there on court than I used to. Even I'm able to take in a little more information and call back on it mid-match too, which is really really important for me, and I think that's helped me compared to even 3-4 years ago.
Jenson, so what does the week look like for you in Dallas, Texas this week, coming off your first career title? Obviously a significant
Check the bank account.
Goal for every player, right, to secure that first title. But what's it look like? We going Mavs, Lakers tomorrow night in Dallas? What do we got? Courtside seats?
No, I'm actually flying back to Orlando tomorrow morning, so I just have the day here. And I'm playing Tallahassee and Savannah next. Okay. So still got to get ready for those. I would play Monday or Tuesday in Tallahassee, I believe. But I'll get to see a few close friends I have here in Dallas today. That'll be fun. So I get a day off before just getting ready for the next one, because it always comes pretty quickly.
Apparently, you got some music skills. I think we've seen you on the piano. Do you play any other instruments besides the piano? I think we have a clip, actually. Yeah.
No, I don't, but I wish I...
Ooh, here we go. Is this Heart and Soul? Or... No, this is good. Is this at a mall? Airport?
Yeah, I was at an airport in Europe. I think it was Belgium.
Nice.
No way. So you just sat down and just went to work, huh?
Do you have a tip cup? Or?
Yeah. Now I bring a few... always have a few songs with me on sheet music, because I usually need to play with sheet music.
Oh, no way.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. That's really cool.
That's smooth.
I could just sit here and listen to this. I could sit here and listen to this the whole time.
Nick can travel with you. He can do lead vocals.
That's a vocal.
I'll bring a microphone and you just take over the piano.
Okay, one final thought for you, Jenson, because you have such a great backhand. People at home that read Tennis Magazine, they love to get swing tips. Do you think you are more dominant on the left or the right hand when you hit a backhand? Does it feel more 50-50? Give us a swing thought on that shot.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would say maybe slightly more than 50-50 for the left hand. I did some things early on in my life until only like 4 or 5, like lefty. Like I still swimming, breathed like a lefty would. So there's a few things I had when I was a kid that I was good on the left side. And I think that's always translated to my backhand. So I think that's helped maybe a little bit in that sense. And then also is always just my favorite shot. So I think I did a lot of reps of it when I was younger as well.
Nice. A little more left hand. It was a pleasure to see the run last week.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging with us.
What a run.
And we know you got a busy schedule coming up.
Pleasure.
Yeah, cool, man.
So
good luck
man.
the rest of the way.
Enjoy
Congrats,
Orlando.
Jenson. Good luck, buddy. Keep it rolling.
Thank you guys.
See you
Thanks.
soon.
Yep.
Thanks.